Well, I just finished mowing the front lawn and I want to show you something that got me thinking a little bit. So as you can see, it's getting a little bit dark, but you can see that I finished mowing. And as I get up here, I see a little bit of like scalp marks there and then right there. And you guys know that we leveled all of this, but that doesn't mean it's perfect yet. And so one of the things that I notice is that I am getting some scalping, and we are filling in that area right there where the tree stump was, but we need to fix that. And I'm going to show you how we're going to fix this, but I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do it on Wednesday. So today's Monday, come back on Wednesday and I'll show you what we're doing. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Lawn Chart channel. It's a little bit early this morning, but I wanted to get up and take care of business before we get too far into the day, especially since I am taking a trip tomorrow. So the other day I showed you guys after we mowed that we are getting some scalp marks in the front, and today I want to show you how we fix that. But before we do, I want to show you why we get scalp marks in the first place when it comes to the Bermuda lawn. So now that we've had a couple of days of growth, let me show you what is going on. So when I look at the lawn, now that we've had a couple of days of growth, it looks really great and all those scalp marks are gone. And the reason why you see that is when we look really closely at the Bermuda, everything's nice and green. But the minute we move things away, you start seeing that brown. And the reason why you're seeing brown is because the way that the Bermuda grows is it gets real stalky. And so you've got these stalks that are right down there, and then you've got the green that's on top. So the only real way to fix that is for you to lower the height of cut so that you can get down into that stalk, and then you can raise your height of cut so that then the green will grow above that. So since I am going on a trip this week, today is Wednesday, I'm gonna go ahead and take the height of cut down from 1/2 inch down to 1/4 inch. That will get me way down. It'll make the lawn look super ugly. But after about 5 days of me being gone, when I come back, what should be growing is all of the green, and it should look a lot better. So first step in doing all this is we've got to get the mower out and we've got to make some adjustments, and then we'll get to mowing later on this afternoon. All right, now that we have the mower in here, we are going to adjust the height of cut. And basically the way that the height of cut works is we want to make sure that the bed knife down there is lowered to the ground so that we can get a better cut. And the only way to do that is for us to adjust a front roller. So the way you adjust a front roller is you loosen this screw, which holds it in place and keeps it from sliding up and down. And then we make the adjustments on here. But in order for us to do all that, we have to be able to have an accurate way of measuring the distance between that bed knife, the big roller in the back, and this front roller. And the only way to do that is with this gauge right here. So the gauge is a flat piece of iron, and it will sit between the two here. So it sits between there, and then we hook this little hook into the bed knife right there, and that tells us the distance between the two. So when we put this against both the front roller and the back roller, and we hook our little pin right there to the bed knife, and we look at that adjustment, and we look at the gauge says 1/2 inch. And you should be able to adjust both this side here and the other side over there, and that will make the change. So right now we are sitting at 1/2 inch. We wanna make this into 1/4 inch. So that's how we work it. So the first screw we're going to change is this side screw, and we're using a 9/16 wrench. We will loosen this side, and then we will loosen the other side. And that frees everything up so that it'll slide up and down nice and easy. Once we get it to the right height of cut, then we'll tighten that back up so it doesn't move back and forth over time. And then we can make these adjustments here with these. Now remember, we have to measure both this side of it. We'll also have to do the other side because this roller will move independently from one side to the other. So we'll have to make sure it all is even on both sides. And this is the fun part because I am not a flexible man, and I gotta get in here and make sure that everything is done properly. now that we've made the adjustment, everything should be good. We can now tighten this thing down. I think you have to be careful when you're tightening it back down, because sometimes it'll move the blade just a little bit. So we won't tighten it all the way, but we will come over here and tighten up both sides, and then we can remeasure it. And if we need to make some slight adjustments, we can. All right, so we've put everything down there. Everything's already tightened up there. We're still at a 1/4 of an inch here, and we're at a 1/4 of an inch here. Okay, so I just realized that I had this completely wrong. And I thought I had it at 1/2 inch. I actually had it at 3/4 of an inch, and I wasn't doing really the adjustment that I needed. So instead of going to 1/4 of an inch, I'm gonna go to 1/2 inch from 3/4 of an inch. Fastest way for me to do that, instead of just cranking on this thing, is to use my drill with an adjustment, bring it up, and I can fine tune it afterwards. So the reason why I messed this up was because I was not paying attention to where the dial was to begin with. So we were sitting at 0.75. So when you look at the smaller dial, that shows you the 1/10 of an inch, and the bigger dial shows you the 1/100 of an inch. So I was sitting at a 7 on the small dial and a 5 on the bigger dial, which is 0.75. And so I assumed when I looked at that, it was at a 1/2 inch. Well, it turns out I was at 0.75. So now what I did was I adjusted it so that it is at a 5 on the small dial and then a 0 on the big dial, which puts us at exactly 1/2 inch. So different head of cut than I thought we were, accomplishes the exact same thing, because now we are going to cut off about a 1/4 of an inch from our grass. Now, the one thing I did notice right now is that it's now raining. So I'm hoping everything will dry out between now and when I get back out in a few hours. But even if it doesn't, these reel mowers are built to be able to work in all kinds of weather. So I'm not too terribly worried. Even if the grass is wet, I'm still gonna take the height of cut down. And the fact that it's raining is just a bonus for the grass. So we'll just get back out here and do it here in a couple hours and see what happens. All right, well, that is what a very pretty scalp looks like on my lawn. So we went from 3/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch, and it looks like I have leprosy in my lawn, is what my neighbor just said to me, and I can't disagree with her. If you will notice right here where the stump used to be, it's nice and green, and the reason why was because I added a bunch of sand the other day, and that just goes to show what scalping does. Is because there's no brown stalk, it doesn't turn brown. I mean, the grass is green all the way down to the sand. So that's kind of the plan for the rest of the lawn. So while it looks really bad right now, the reality of it is in a few days, it should look a lot better. I'm leaving for Miami tomorrow. I will be at the game on Saturday, and I fly back late Sunday. So on Monday, when I get back, I will show you guys what this looks like. And then hopefully you guys will see a big difference, and then we can raise the height of cut back up. And I may not go all the way back up to 3/4 of an inch. Maybe I'll do 5/8. I don't know. We'll decide as a game time decision. But I've done this before. It's always a little freaky when you scalp the heck out of your lawn and it goes down to the brown. But that's just the way Bermuda is, and it should look really good. So we'll be back in a few days. All right, folks. Well, it's been 5 days since we scalped the lawn. Went on my trip to Miami, got to watch the Hurricanes beat the Aggies. Sorry for all you Texas fans. But today I wanted to come in and show you guys what the progress looks like after 5 days. So let's take a look. So in this area, you can't tell a lot. I mean, we did have a few bare spots, obviously, when we did the leveling project, and then also the fact that we had some fungus issues here. But overall, it's greening up. Then when we look over here, you still see the scalp marks. But the one thing that you do notice when you look at it from a low angle, you do see that there is grass growing. You can see it right up there in the back. So it is coming up. And where the stump used to be, it's nice and green, which is great. I did notice that my sprinkler system adjusted the frequency of watering. And so I probably didn't get enough water on here. But the grass is growing and it is starting to green up in some of these scalp marks. So when we look nice and close in there, you see there are pieces of green all over in there, which is great. So we are getting greening, and over the next few days it will do much better. But today I think what we're going to do is we're going to raise the height of cut again back up to 3/4 of an inch on the reel mower, and we're just going to start mowing this again like we have been, so that we can push the grass to start growing and spreading out a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Let's get the mower out and we'll make some adjustments. Let's get the tool, get down the grass. Alright, so everything is tightened up on both sides. We have everything all locked down, both of these sides. So I don't suspect that we'll be taking much grass off of the lawn today, but we're gonna go ahead and mow it at this height, and that way we can continue to promote that growth. So let's get out there, mow it. I'm not gonna collect anything today. There's no reason to, there's just not enough out there. And this way I can get a nice close cut into the corners and everything else, and then we'll just see how it looks when we're done. All right, well, we finished, and I'll be honest with you, if I saw 3 blades of grass fly off of that mower, I'll be surprised. We barely cut anything off. When you get down low, you can kind of see that we did take a little bit off the top, but that's about it, not much else. So it is what it is. But for now, I think this is the life that we lead with this grass. We're just gonna let it grow. I'm not gonna touch it for at least 3 or 4 more days. Today's Monday, at the earliest Thursday. Maybe I'll even wait till Saturday to mow it again and see how much of this greens up. But I'll keep you guys posted. For now, we're just gonna close out this video, and then I will be putting down some fertilizer that should help a little bit, because we have got our fall renovation stuff, not renovation, overseeding, that sort of thing. We have that coming up pretty soon at the end of this month. So we need to get things moving a little bit so that we can get that going, because it's all gonna be soil supplements to make sure that we've got a good place for this grass to grow when we overseed it. And also we've got at least another month and a half of Bermuda growth, so we might as well make it work really well. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy this video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if I have earned your subscription, and if you want to be notified of future videos, don't forget to hit that bell, and we'll see you on the next one.